the Giants are absolutely done with Daniel Jones.
Wow.
Done.
Wow. Absolutely done.
Done. Might have to play him this year, but that ain't it. And they feel that ain't it. The words I heard at the Combine multiple times, 2 words were buyer's remorse.
What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video, and man, we got a lot to talk about today. Now, I've been wanting to make some uploads right after the Combine. We're a couple days removed from the Combine that just happened. I wanted to get some videos together, but I'm working on them currently. We got a mock draft coming out for the NFL mock draft, and then we have a New York Giants mock draft coming out. I'm trying to get that out before free agency starts. Forgive me on that. Also watching a lot of film on my free time as well. And also, I sprained my finger. I cannot move my finger straight. I can't put my finger straight. I jammed it in my flag football playoff game. I was going hard, man. I was going hard.
Brooksie's time to shine, baby.
And now I feel like Brian Baldinger. So, that being said, let's get on to the video. Now, you heard that clip. That was just a couple of days ago from Rich Eisen saying the word around the streets at the end of NFL Combine is that the Giants are done with Daniel Jones. And this is not just coming from Rich Eisen. This has been from the past couple of days now. My most recent upload was me just talking about how the Giants just seem like everything is pointing towards them drafting a quarterback in this upcoming draft. It doesn't matter if they're going to trade up for one, sit at 6, whatever the case may be, even the second round, they are going to get a quarterback. But it really seems more and more likely that not only the Giants are getting a quarterback, but they're going to get one in the first round, and they might even trade up. And I said that you do not trade up for a position like that unless you're actually thinking about quarterback, unless you're actually desperate to get a quarterback. That means that the Giants have to be done with Daniel Jones in a sense. They have to, even if they believe in him, even if they like the kid, even if everything Joe Schoen says about Daniel Jones is true, how much he believes in him and likes him, he cannot hang his hat on Daniel Jones's career and his projection. And you heard those last couple of words, buyer's remorse. The Giants are now really feeling what that contract did to the New York Giants franchise. As of right now, where the state of this team is at right now, we are in a position where we are going to lose out on our 2 best players, one on offense, one on defense, in this free agency offseason, in Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney. And the crazy thing is, both of these players play a position that are not paid very, very highly. We're not talking about a wide receiver. We're not talking about a quarterback. We're not talking about a cornerback or an edge rusher. We're talking about 2 of the lesser paid positions in the NFL in safety and running back. And the Giants can't even afford them. Even with the inflated cap space that nobody saw coming, we saw about almost a $15 million, or give or take, in extra cap that nobody expected for every NFL team to have, and the Giants still can't pull enough strings to sign one of these guys back. That is because Daniel Jones has a cap hit of $47 million this upcoming season, and it's only getting higher as his contract goes along. I believe it's a little lesser in 2025, but in 2026 it's like through the roof. So yeah, I can really see the Giants wanting to wane themselves off of Daniel Jones and try to move on as easily and gradually as they can. I don't think they're going to do a clean split. I think Daniel Jones is probably going to start this year, and I really think they're going to tell Daniel Jones, hey, play your heart out because you're going to be playing for another team next year. Play the best you can because we have to move on from you, and you're basically just applying or putting out a good resume for teams that may have interest in you after we either trade or release you. It would be great if Daniel Jones played well enough that somebody can trade for Daniel Jones and take on his dead cap so we can kind of get a clean split going and move right on to the next quarterback. Oh, and by the way, if you thought that Rich Eisen was just blowing smoke, here's what Connor Hughes had to say. He covers the Jets, but he covers like a lot of New York sports, but he was also at the Combine. Here's what he had to say.
The worst kept secret of the NFL Combine might not just be the Giants' desire to select a quarterback in the upcoming NFL draft, but their willingness to trade up to go get a quarterback in this year's draft. The problem, though, is there going to be one for them to go up there and take? Caleb Williams, there were some rumors and rumblings that the Bears might either trade the #1 selection or stick with Justin Fields. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. He's going #1 overall. That leaves Drake May and Jaden Daniels. Well, Washington selecting 2, they need a quarterback. New England selecting 3, they need a quarterback. If it goes quarterback in the NFL draft. Will the Giants trade up or select Bo Nix? Would they take Michael Penix considering his injury history? I don't necessarily know. So while the Giants want a quarterback, they seem like they want to find the replacement for Daniel Jones. That player might not be there this year. So
the worst kept secret of the NFL Combine is the Giants trading up for a quarterback in this draft, and everybody's talking about it now. This is not just smoke. This is not just, people are just spreading rumors. It really seems like the Giants are doing this. And if you guys have been on my channel for the past couple of years, if you guys have been a viewer here, you guys know that I defended Daniel Jones for years. I am not coming out here and just hating on Daniel Jones, bashing on him. I hate him. I never wanted him. You guys know that when he was drafted, I was livid. I did not like it, and I warmed up to it. I started becoming, I don't know necessarily if I can say a fan, but a supporter, and I defended him, give him time, give him a couple of years, but we're now going into the 6th year, and I just can't keep doing it, guys. I don't have it in me. I have to see more progress. It's just, I don't like the coddling that this fan base, well, a lot of this fan base has done with Daniel Jones and babying him up to this point. I know that there has been a lot of struggles and a lot of lack of supporting cast that Daniel Jones had to deal with, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that he had displayed in college that he just cannot move away from. And that was all the way back in the 2019 draft. So listen, man, we got to move on. I'm sorry. And now we're moving on to who are the Giants going to take in the NFL draft? And for the longest time, a lot of people mocked Jaden Daniels going to the New York Giants at either 6 or trading up to 3. And even I had that in my mock draft before the combine started. I had the Giants getting Jaden Daniels at 6, and that all really depended on, obviously, no trades. I didn't have any trades in my mock draft, so that is something to note. But also, I had New England getting Marvin Harrison Jr. as opposed to picking up a quarterback, just due to the rumors going around now that the New England Patriots probably don't want a quarterback. They want to get draft capital, probably are going to trade down and just gain some picks for this new regime, because it's been a very long time since a new regime has been in New England. It's been Bill Belichick for the longest, so now they're trying to just start a new foundation. So who are the Giants going to take at quarterback in this draft? And now a lot of heads are pointing towards J.J. McCarthy, quarterback out of Michigan. Listen, I am so split on J.J. McCarthy, it's not even funny. He is probably the hardest quarterback to gauge on where he's going to go in the draft. I pull up his film, and guys, I am very much impressed. If you pull up film like against Michigan State, however, which was the first game I watched of J.J. McCarthy, absolute baller. I mean, he looked like a first-round pick through and through. But if you keep watching his film, you're going to see a lot of inconsistencies. You're going to see a lot of moments where he just doesn't seem that special. Now, he does have a lot of traits that I love. He has a great arm, a fantastic arm, an NFL arm. He has decent accuracy, but it's very, very inconsistent, where he has the arm to make all the throws. He does, but he doesn't have the arsenal of throws to make. He doesn't have that touch. He doesn't have that grace. He is kind of a straight shooter. He's very laser pointed with his accuracy, which could be great for wide open plays that you have no traffic with. But when you're trying to get over linebackers, you're trying to get over safeties, you're trying to hit some hole shots, you need to have some touch on the ball, and he just doesn't have that yet. His arm mechanics are great, in my opinion. I know a lot of people actually talk about that. I don't necessarily have a problem with J.J. McCarthy's arm mechanics at all. I think his arm motion, his throwing motion is good. His footwork is great. He displayed that at the combine as well, but his pocket presence isn't exactly great. It seems like he gets flustered a lot, and that's another thing. His supporting cast is fantastic. He's got a great running back in Blake Corum. He's got some great wide receivers in there, like Roman Wilson to add, and then a great offensive line. I really don't know how a guy like J.J. McCarthy is going to be tested in the fire of the New York Giants pocket, because it is an absolute war zone there. And we're focusing more on J.J. McCarthy because I never really got to talk about him on the channel. I talked about all the 3 other quarterbacks, including even Bo Nix on the channel, but now I'm really focused on J.J. McCarthy because that's where it really seems like the rumors are headed for. Like I said, I do like J.J. McCarthy. It's just so damn hard to gauge where he's going to go in the draft. I think truly, adding all his good, the bad, the ugly, the inconsistencies, I really think I have a true early second round grade on him. However, with the quarterback position and how premium that position is, I could see him going in the first round. I just don't see him going top 5, 6. I just don't see that. I see him going at least around 12 to 20 range. That's probably the earliest I see JJ McCarthy going. Maybe even Minnesota, being that they are at 11. They might even trade up for JJ McCarthy to make sure they secure him in the bag. But that's how premium the quarterback position is. You'll be willing to take a second round prospect in the first round, even high in the first round, even to trade up for him in the first round if it means to groom him up and make sure he's ready for when it's game time. But that's the quarterback position for you, and I just don't know if I'm ready to take a quarterback 6th overall again. That just isn't worth drafting 6th overall. I know I am not comparing Daniel Jones to JJ McCarthy. A lot of people came at me for this tweet that I put up about JJ McCarthy and how we're going to be in a world full of regret like we did with Daniel Jones. I'm not comparing them two as players. As far as prospects go, I think Daniel Jones and JJ McCarthy are night and day. I think JJ McCarthy is a far better prospect than Daniel Jones was coming out of college. However, I just still don't think JJ McCarthy is 6th overall worthy. And I just don't want to have to go through another 5 years regretting the 6th overall pick for a quarterback that we overdrafted, because we literally did that in 2019, 6th overall with Daniel Jones. So can you get my frustration here? Everybody who wants a quarterback, can you get my frustration here? Now, if we get the JJ McCarthy versus Michigan State, if we get the JJ McCarthy versus Ohio State, and that's another thing, he plays well against Power 5 teams. He plays extremely well against those good defenses, those top teams in college football, which is great. He also has some terrible games against Bowling Green and Maryland. I mean, there are some times where I'm just like, man, JJ McCarthy, what are you looking at? What are you seeing out there? But if we get the JJ McCarthy of his best football play, he probably is worth drafting in the first round. He definitely has first round tape on him, but it's not all we see. And I know players are going to have a bad game all the time. Like a lot of people attack Caleb Williams for having like that 3-game bad stretch at the end of this year when he was trying to make that playoff run and he just couldn't get it done. And throwing interceptions, throwing some willy-nilly balls, trying to make something happen. I can understand that a player's going to have some bad games, but I just see inconsistencies throughout these games where the lack of touch on the ball, the reading coverages just seems lacking, eyeing down receivers, his pocket awareness. That's something that really bothers me too. If we get a quarterback, I want a guy that is poised in the pocket, and JJ McCarthy sometimes gets really flustered behind a decent Michigan offensive line. Now, Michael Penix is an option in the second round. I probably would take JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy is quarterback 4. He's quarterback 4. I got Bo Nix at 3. And JJ McCarthy, watching more of his film, JJ McCarthy can go to 3 for me. He can, but then you would probably have to take him in the first round. So it's very hard for me to do, man. It's just very hard for me to do. This can be an excellent quarterback class, and it could be a really bad one at the same time. Not like the Kenny Pickett class bad or anything like that, but it could be a bad one. But that's all I got for you guys today. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Do you think that JJ McCarthy is going 6th overall to the Giants? Do you think the Giants are even going to take a quarterback in this draft, even high with the 6th pick, or even trade up with New England at 3? Who knows? What do you guys think? Leave in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!